the eternal question, does God exist? The question of God's existence has captivated humanity for millennia. It is a question that has sparked countless debates, inspired profound works of art, and fueled both fervent belief and staunch skepticism. Can we definitively prove or disprove the existence of a higher power? This essay delves into this enduring mystery, exploring the diverse perspectives offered by philosophy, science, and theology. The search for answers often begins with our own personal experiences. We look at the world around us, the wonders of nature, the complexities of life, and we may sense an underlying intelligence or design. On the other hand, we also experience suffering, injustice, and random events that make us question the presence of a benevolent creator. Ultimately, the question of God's existence is a deeply personal one. While some find solace and meaning in faith, others find satisfaction in reason and empirical evidence. This essay aims to present a balanced exploration of this multifaceted issue, acknowledging the strengths and limitations of each perspective. Philosophy, the love of wisdom, has grappled with the question of God's existence for centuries. Philosophers have developed a range of arguments, both for and against the existence of a divine being. These arguments often rely on logic, reason, and observations of the natural world. One prominent line of reasoning is the Cosmological Argument. This argument suggests that the universe must have a cause, a first mover or an uncaused cause. This cause, proponents argue, is God. Another influential argument is the Design Argument, which points to the order and complexity of the universe as evidence of an intelligent designer. However, these arguments have also faced criticism. Critics of the Cosmological Argument question whether the concept of an uncaused cause is logically sound. Opponents of the Design Argument point to natural processes such as evolution as explanations for the complexity of life. The Cosmological Argument, in its simplest form, states that everything that exists must have a cause. The universe exists, therefore it must have a cause. This cause, proponents argue, is God. They suggest that an infinite regress of causes is impossible, and therefore there must be a first cause, an unmoved mover, which is itself uncaused. This argument has taken various forms throughout history. The ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle proposed a prime mover, a being of pure thought and the ultimate source of all motion in the universe. Later, medieval theologian Thomas Aquinas developed his 5 ways, arguments for God's existence, one of which was based on the idea of a first cause. However, critics of the Cosmological Argument argue that it doesn't necessarily lead to the conclusion of a God as traditionally conceived. They question whether the first cause must be a personal intelligent being. Could it not be some other kind of entity or principle beyond our current understanding? The Design Argument, also known as the teleological argument, focuses on the apparent order, purpose, and complexity observed in the universe, and particularly in living organisms. Philosopher proponents of this argument contend that such intricate design points to the work of an intelligent designer, just as the complexity of a watch implies a watchmaker. One of the most famous proponents of the Design Argument was William Paley, an 18th century English clergyman. In his book Natural Theology, Paley used the analogy of a watch found on a heath. He argued that the watch's intricate parts and precise arrangement point to a designer, and similarly, the complexity of living organisms suggests an intelligent creator. However, the Design Argument has faced significant challenges, particularly with the advent of Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection. Evolution provides a natural explanation for the complexity of life, suggesting that it arose through gradual changes over vast periods, driven by mechanisms such as variation, inheritance, and selection. Section 5, The Problem of Evil, a challenge to God's goodness. The problem of evil is a classic philosophical dilemma that questions the existence of a God who is both omnipotent, meaning all-powerful, and omnibenevolent, meaning all-good. It poses the question, if God is all-powerful, he could prevent evil. If he is all-good, he would want to prevent evil. Yet, evil exists in the world. How can this be reconciled with the existence of a loving God? This problem has haunted theologians and philosophers for centuries.
Various attempts have been made to address it. Some argue that evil is necessary for free will, that without the possibility of choosing evil, true freedom wouldn't exist. Others suggest that evil serves a greater purpose, even if it remains beyond our comprehension. However, critics argue that these explanations fail to adequately address the vast amount of suffering in the world. They question why an all-powerful God couldn't create a world where free will and goodness coexist without the need for such immense suffering.
Section 6. Science weighs in evidence and the supernatural. Science, with its emphasis on empirical evidence and testable explanations, often approaches the question of God's existence from a different perspective than philosophy or theology. Science focuses on understanding the natural world through observation, experimentation, and the development of theories that can be tested and potentially falsified.
The scientific method, by its very nature, is limited to investigating the natural world and its phenomena. Supernatural claims, by definition, lie outside the realm of what can be tested or falsified through scientific inquiry. This doesn't mean that science disproves the existence of God, but rather that the question falls outside its scope of investigation.
Some scientists argue that the more we understand about the universe through scientific discoveries, the less we need to invoke supernatural explanations. Advances in fields such as cosmology, evolutionary biology, and neuroscience have provided natural explanations for phenomena that were once attributed to divine intervention. Section 7. The Big Bang and Evolution, Natural Explanations. Two of the most significant scientific theories, the Big Bang theory and the theory of evolution, have profoundly impacted our understanding of the universe and our place within it.
The Big Bang theory suggests the universe originated from a hot, dense state and has been expanding ever since. This is supported by the redshift of distant galaxies and the cosmic microwave background radiation.
Similarly, the theory of evolution by natural selection, first proposed by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace, explains how life on Earth has diversified over billions of years. Section 8. The Limits of Science. What can't be measured? While science has made remarkable strides in understanding the natural world, it's important to acknowledge its limitations.
Science is a constantly evolving process, and our current understanding is always subject to revision in light of new evidence. Moreover, there are certain questions that science, by its very nature, may not be equipped to answer.
Questions about the ultimate meaning or purpose of life, the existence of a soul or consciousness beyond the physical body, or the nature of morality fall outside the realm of scientific inquiry. These are philosophical or theological questions that may not be amenable to scientific investigation.
Furthermore, science primarily deals with the material world, with what can be observed and measured. If a God exists outside of the natural realm, beyond the reach of our instruments and experiments, then science would have no way of detecting or studying it.
Section 9. Faith and Revelation, the Theological Perspective. Theology, the study of God and religious belief, offers a distinct perspective on the question of God's existence.
Theology often relies on faith, revelation, and sacred texts as sources of knowledge and understanding. From a theological perspective, belief in God is often seen as a matter of faith, a trust in something beyond the reach of reason or empirical evidence.
Many religions believe that God has revealed himself to humanity through prophets, sacred texts, and divine experiences. These revelations are seen as sources of truth and guidance, offering insights into the nature of God, the purpose of life, and the path to salvation.
For believers, faith provides a foundation for their worldview, a sense of meaning and purpose, and a source of comfort and hope in the face of life's challenges. Faith is often seen as a gift from God, a grace that enables individuals to connect with the divine.
Section 10. Sacred texts and divine experiences, sources of belief. Sacred texts such as the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, and the Vedas hold a central place in many religious traditions. These texts are often regarded as divinely inspired, containing the Word of God, or offering profound insights into the nature of reality and the human condition. They provide guidance on moral conduct, rituals, and the relationship between humanity and the divine.
For believers, sacred texts offer a source of authority, comfort, and inspiration. They provide answers to life's big questions, offer hope in times of adversity, and provide a framework for understanding the world and one's place within it. In addition to sacred texts, many individuals report having personal experiences that they interpret as encounters with the divine. These experiences can take many forms, such as visions, dreams, feelings of overwhelming peace or joy, or a sense of God's presence.
Section 11, the leap of faith belief beyond reason. The concept of a leap of faith is often used to describe the decision to believe in God in the absence of definitive proof. It acknowledges that belief in God often requires a step beyond what can be proven through reason or empirical evidence. It is a decision to trust in something beyond the realm of the tangible and verifiable.
Søren Kierkegaard, a 19th century Danish philosopher, is often credited with popularizing the concept of the leap of faith. He argued that faith is not something that can be arrived at through logical deduction, but rather a passionate commitment, a choice made in the face of uncertainty. For some, the leap of faith is a courageous act of trust, a willingness to embrace the unknown and to find meaning and purpose in something beyond themselves. For others, it may seem like a risky gamble, a belief without sufficient justification.
Section 12, finding meaning with or without proof. Ultimately, the question of whether or not to believe in God is a deeply personal one. There is no right or wrong answer, and individuals arrive at their own conclusions based on their own experiences, beliefs, and values. Some find solace and meaning in faith, while others find satisfaction in reason and empirical evidence.
For those who believe in God, faith can provide a sense of purpose, a moral compass, and a source of comfort and hope in times of difficulty. It can foster a sense of connection to something greater than oneself and inspire acts of love, compassion, and service to others. For those who do not believe in God, meaning and purpose can be found in other aspects of life, such as relationships, creativity, the pursuit of knowledge, or contributing to the betterment of society. They may find fulfillment in living a life guided by reason, ethics, and a commitment to human values.
Section 13, conclusion, the ongoing search. The question of God's existence has captivated humanity for millennia. Philosophy, science, and theology offer insights, but no definitive proof satisfies everyone. Ultimately, the question of God's existence remains a matter of personal belief. The ongoing dialogue enriches our understanding and challenges us to explore the mysteries of existence.